Okay, more questions. Florida Fun Prof, P-R-O-F. Okay. Says, I'm a young 54 now, but will be moving to the villages in the summer of 2020. Or if I can't afford it then, I'll be in Ocala for a couple of years before buying down in Finney or south of that. It says, I found a list of clubs, 3,000 plus, but is there a list of all the clubs with websites versus just phone numbers? I don't know. I can tell you one place you can go, and you can find a lot of information there. Over the years, I've went to this website. I don't know if there's a website that has 3,000 websites, addresses on it. I doubt that. That'd be my guess. Let me get this focused. I just fairly doubt that. But you might go to virginiatrace.com. There's a lot of stuff on that website, and I don't know who runs that website up there, who takes care of it, but they do a truly good job putting a lot of stuff on there. So just go there, virginiatrace.com, and see what you can find out. Other than that, the only place I know that has a lot of the different activities and clubs on it, but I'm sure they don't advertise any websites on it. It's the village's recreational guide. Basically what that tells you at all the different times during that month is where all the different activities are going on at and what time. So as far as that's an interesting question, because I don't think so. Maybe do a video from a design center, polo match, or woodworking buildings. That's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to go to the design center. There's too many people in there, and I get in everybody's way, and so that's not happening. The polo match, I went there once. I didn't like it at all. So the odds of me paying big dollars for a ticket to go to a polo match to do a video just to show somebody what it looks like, nah, I'm not doing that either. Woodworking buildings, we only have one, so I don't know where you get buildings. They're going to build another one, but it hasn't even started yet. The only woodworking building they have is way up on Rolling Acre Road, and our woodworking buildings don't work the way you think it does. Just because we have a building where there's a lot of woodworking stuff in there, you just can't walk in with a handful of wood and think I'm going to build a table. It doesn't work that way. They have a whole problematic technique of what it takes to go into these buildings and operate the equipment, and they have certain things that you have to agree to. I don't have a list of all those things. I remember I called up there years ago because I worked in a cabinet shop. I was a custom cabinet builder for many years. So yeah, there was some things that I wanted to do. But when they started telling me all the things I was required to do in order to be in there, and then you're limited on time. You just can't go in there first. I could get working on something and be in there for 3 or 4 hours. That may not happen. And I just decided not to do it. So I'm not going to go in them buildings. I guarantee you they're not going to let me just walk in there with a camera and just start taking pictures. They're not going to allow that. It seems like they're building new trails for walk, bike with exercise equipment that the golf carts are not allowed on. Do the maps designate which trails are off limits to golf carts? Well, you're not going to have any problem with that because they've got barriers at the beginning and end and at crosswalks and places like that does not allow your golf cart to get on that trail unless you go around those things to get on that trail. Then if you do that, now you're in violation. But it's not hard to know where you can be and where you can't be because they'll be blocked off. Saying that, I went to Lake Sumter one time, and there was actually some idiot with a golf cart driving down the sidewalk in front of all them stores. If any of you have been to Lake Sumter, you know what I'm talking about. I couldn't imagine. People was yelling and screaming at this guy, and he just kept going down the sidewalk. I think the police finally caught this guy, but stuff happens. Do you know of anyone who has satellite dish TV on their golf cart? Why would you do that? That don't even make sense. When golfing on the weekend, I hope to have a mini TV in the cart onto the game. Also, anyone have a surround sound system installed in their golf cart? You don't want to do that. I can see you're going to cause a problem. You're going to be making way too much noise out there on that golf cart, and surround sound in your golf cart, you're going to be going through neighborhoods and you're just going to be causing problems. So my guess would be, if there's a game on and you're interested in watching the game, go to your local, wherever, anywhere around here, one of the sports bars, have a beer with your buddies, watch the game, then go play golf. TV and surround sound and stuff like that on the golf course, that's not going to be good. I've heard nothing but misters, the Cool Zone fans, on the sides of football games. Misters. The Cool Zone fans, sides of football games. In the hot summer, a mister would be great on the lanai. Well, I suppose you could get it installed. Nobody I know has them. I don't have them. I don't have anybody around here that has them. You're going to have a lot of water probably collect on your lanai floor that you're going to have to get rid of eventually. The misters are going to get all over all your lanai furniture, and you're going to be cleaning a lot of your furniture off every day, because when they get wet and then dry off, they leave stains and dust and crap all over everything. No, I don't know anybody's got misters, but I suppose if you want them, if your checkbook's big enough, they'll do anything for you down here. Any trouble with fire ants at all? They seem furious in untreated areas, or palmetto bugs, flying cockroaches. Basically, yeah, palmetto bugs is a flying cockroach. But see, cockroaches fly too. So there's no difference. They call them palmetto bugs here, I think, because it just sounds better. But they're really not a problem. But there's literally no house here that does not have cockroaches around it. I mean, you might as well just get used to that. I've got wood chips in all my flower beds. I never see them. They're never in the house or never crawling up the house. It ain't nothing like that. They pretty much live in the mulch, underneath of it, where it's moist and damp and this and that. And remember, we have 1,001 geckos, lizards that run around here. So any of the cockroaches that come out in the open, they're fair game. So, and we got a lot of birds, lots and lots of birds down here. That's what they do. They go through your flower beds, into your bushes. They're all over down here looking for all these kind of bugs. So the few cockroaches that I do have in my flower beds have nothing to do with trash, have nothing to do with garbage, have nothing to do with stink. It's just has a lot to do with just being in a tropical area. And the birds and the lizards and things, they pretty much take care of them. And fire ants. Yeah, we do have fire ants. When we first moved in this new area, I had a fire ants in my yard, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 times. And there's a product you can buy at Lowe's, Home Depot, is for fire ants and other insects. I got it for basically fire ants. It's supposed to kill them. It's like a granulated stuff. You put it on the nest, and supposedly the fire ants eat this, take it down to where the queen's at, kills the queen, and then the nest, I guess, is supposed to move on or something. I don't know if that really works as far as killing a queen, but I will tell you this, that it does work. It works very well. Because I have put this, when a little nest pops up, I don't let my nest get very big. When a little nest pops up, and you'll be able to tell when it comes up, then I'll take a little handful of this and I'll sprinkle it on top of the nest. The very next day, everything's gone. The nest is empty. There's nothing there. But what happens is the nest ends up popping up somewhere else. They just move. And when they pop up, put another little handful on there, and then they move again. And in between the first nest and a second nest might be several months before you see that second nest. So I just kept making my nest move until eventually I think it ended up going into my neighbor's yard. And then he puts the stuff on there and he chases the nest. Now here we are 4.5 years into this neighborhood, and we don't see any fire ants at all anymore. I don't know. I don't know if they actually died. I don't know if they went underground and stay underground. I don't know. But 4.5 years later, you can drive around my neighborhood now and look everywhere, and you don't see any fire ant nests at all. Some top 10 lists would be nice. Top 10 restaurants. Nah, I'm not doing that because that's all relative. Restaurants that I like is not going to be the same ones that you like, so I'm not doing that. Top 10 village events. I'm not doing that. There's 3,000 different clubs here. There's events all over the place. Events that's not even listed. Outside companies come in, like I think this next weekend is the golf thing. I don't know what they call it. It's at the polo field. There'll be every golf manufacturer will be there with golf balls, golf carts, golf clubs. It's a big deal. You know, basically as an event goes, that could be one of the top 10 events right there, but I never go there because I'm not fighting the crowd, and I'm just not going to do that. So, you know, and the things that I like, once again, on the events, the things that I like, you ain't going to like. I don't like polo. I went there once. I thought it was the most boringest thing I ever watched in my life. But when they do have a polo game up there, you go by it, the stands are full. So see, I wouldn't say that was a top 10 event, but there's a lot of neighbors that will disagree with me. Top 10 bus trips. I don't know. There's 1,001 bus trips here, and I've only been on 2. So there's no way I could give you a top 10. But there's a lot of bus trips here. Seem like you're a very cool person to meet. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm okay. I'm not sure how cool I am anymore. My cool days are over. Hey, look, the village has got a lot to offer. Just a lot to offer. And everybody's got their own taste in food. Everybody's got their own taste in a style of home. Everybody's billfold is a different size. Everybody doesn't get up at the same time. Everybody seems to think that everybody around here gets up at 5:30 in the morning. I don't. Those days are over for me. Somebody asked me once, said, what time do you normally get out of bed? I don't know if I have a normal time. I get up whenever I get up. But I would say for me anymore, the average time for me getting up is probably between 8:30 and 9:30. That may sound late. And maybe it is to some people, but I'm happy with it. The only time that I ever get up any earlier than that, especially in the summer months, if we have an early morning tea time, then I have to get up. I have to get up fairly early, you know, for the tea time. Every now and then, a bunch of the guys will get together and they want to go out and have breakfast, just because. And so I may have to get up a little earlier for that, you know, or something. But nah. But overall, if you walk around, drive around the village and look around, pretty much around 9 or 10 o'clock, everybody goes to bed. Not everybody, but overall, everybody goes to bed. And I would say if you get up around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, there's a lot of people out walking, getting their morning exercise before it starts getting too hot and that kind of thing, walking their dogs and all this and that. So there's a lot of people up at 5:30 and 6 in the morning. I just don't happen to be one of them. So I'm going to get out of here. Hope I answered some of your questions. I just want to say that a lot of these videos right now are basically being brought to you by my Patreon people. And I want to thank them because they also are part of my YouTube channel. And I got a couple of meet and greets I think this next week. One of them I'm really interested in. I don't know if I'll video anything or not. I don't know the young man. But I have somebody that's a military contractor from Qatar, I'll say Qatar, which I think is over by Egypt or Arabia or someplace over there. I got to play dumb to all this. And I have a meet and greet with him Monday. I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to say what time because I don't know if he wants, you know, anybody to know where he's at. I don't know. I'm not trying to be secretive here. I'm just trying to be respectful to that person. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to get a chance to talk to him. And yeah, from Qatar. I just feel privileged that somebody that far away is coming to my town and wants to meet me and Sue. I feel humbled, I really do. So until then, I'm going to get out of here on this glorious day, waving at my neighbor in the golf cart. She went down and got the mail. And I'll see you guys on the other side.